The gloves are off. The West has just allowed Ukraine to strike deep. No more range limits, no more red lines. For the first time, Kyiv is free to strike Russian military targets deep inside enemy territory, anywhere, anytime. And this is a seismic shift in the war, and it could send shockwaves all the way to the Kremlin. Until now, Ukraine's hands were tied. Last October, former US President Joe Biden gave the green light for limited strikes only on Russian military targets close to the Ukrainian border. The message was clear: strike, but don't escalate. But the rules have now changed. It seems Kyiv's Western allies are done with half measures. Now, Ukraine can rain fire on Russian airfields, command posts, ammunition depots and logistics hubs far behind the front. Reacting to this, Moscow says West lifting range limits on Ukraine, it arms quite dangerous. Ukraine's arsenal is formidable. It has the HIMARS system with a guided multiple launch rocket system up to 50 kilometers. Not just that, US ATACMS missiles with 300 kilometers range. Storm Shadow and Anglo-French cruise missile with a maximum range of around 300 kilometers. And these are not just weapons. They are game changers. But up to now, strict orders meant that they could only be used on Russian forces inside occupied Ukrainian lands. And that leash is now gone. Kyiv now holds the power to hit the Russian war machine where it hurts the most. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz summed it up clearly, saying that there are no longer any range restrictions on weapons supplied to Ukraine, not from the British, not from the French, not from Germany, and not from America either. Merz asserts Ukraine can now also defend itself by attacking military positions in Russia. Merz had long signaled that he will break from his predecessor Olaf Scholz's caution. The Taurus cruise missile, with its 500-kilometer reach, could now soon join the Ukraine arsenal if Berlin gives the final nod. And this move is a new threat for Moscow. No supply line, no command bunker, no airbase within range of Ukrainian missiles are now safe. The West has now made it clear Ukrainian forces will no longer fight with one hand tied behind its back. With range restrictions lifted, the battlefield just got a lot bigger and also a lot deadlier for Russia. Our top focus on the show: US intelligence has confirmed what many already suspected. China is actively arming Pakistan with weapons of mass destruction and driving Islamabad's nuclear expansion from battlefield-ready tactical nukes to command and control systems. Beijing is now systematically overseeing how these weapons of mass destruction are manufactured and deployed. Why? Because Pakistan not only views India as an existential threat, but it wants to counter New Delhi's conventional military superiority. And Islamabad appears to have made nuclear deterrence its top priority. Such details have been made public in the 2025 Worldwide Threat Assessment, that's by the US Defense Intelligence Agency. The DIA report reveals that Pakistan's military is modernizing its nuclear capabilities with direct assistance from Beijing. The report states Pakistan is sourcing WMD-related materials through a shadowy network of Chinese suppliers and transshipping sensitive foreign materials and technology through Hong Kong, Turkey, Singapore and the UAE. Pakistan, unlike India, has clearly refused to adopt a no-first-use nuclear policy, which only heightens the risk of a sudden and careless escalation. As of 2024, estimates from the Center for Arms Control and Non-Proliferation suggests that Pakistan holds around 170 nuclear warheads. That figure reportedly surpasses earlier predictions by the DIA, which had expected 60 to 80 warheads by 2020. If current trends persist, Pakistan's nuclear stockpile could reach 200 warheads by the end of this year. further increasing the grave implications for regional and global stability as well. The DIA report further states, and I am quoting here, Pakistan primarily is a recipient of China's economic and military largesse, unquote. With the Pakistan military and PLA forces conducting multiple combined military exercises every year, but this China-Pakistan partnership has not gone unchallenged. The report perhaps highlights how a string of deadly attacks on Chinese workers in Pakistan, including the killing of 7 nationals in 2024, is now straining this relationship between Pakistan and China. With security for Chinese nationals involved in the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC, now becoming a growing concern. Last December, Pakistan's National Counter-Terrorism Authority said that at least 20 Chinese citizens have been killed and 34 injured in terrorist attacks in the country since 2021. Meanwhile, India remains locked in a perhaps very delicate balancing act. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's defense doctrine aims to showcase New Delhi as a global power, while simultaneously countering China, further highlighting India's growing military power. The DIA report also makes a clear distinction. For India, China represents the top-tier threat, while in its words, Pakistan is an ancillary security problem to be managed. And India is countering its primary adversary by giving priority to advancing its bilateral defense partnerships in the Indian Ocean region through exercises, training, arms sales, and even information sharing. So with China acting as the arsenal and Pakistan appearing to be pulling the trigger, one thing is clear: India will be monitoring these developments very closely. In India, monsoons have arrived in several states much earlier than usual and days before schedule. Several parts of the country are now experiencing moderate to heavy rainfall, marked by some unusual weather patterns. The southwest monsoon has advanced into states like Maharashtra and Karnataka, as well as parts of northeast region, bringing with it heavy spell of extreme winds and rainfall. In Mumbai, heavy rains have lashed several parts of the city, breaking a 107-year record and marking the earliest monsoon in 75 years. They have brought life to a standstill with gusty winds, waterlogged streets, submerged train stations. And this is just the first day of monsoons.
Mumbai has received a lot of rain today. Traffic remains largely normal in the city. There is waterlogging in the Hendmata area. The BMC team is working in the area.
Down south, several parts of Karnataka, including Bengaluru and Kaliburagi city, have experienced heavy rainfall in the past 24 hours, so much so that a red alert has now been issued in coastal Karnataka for the next 5 days. Incessant rainfall has also impacted northern districts of Kerala, with people being shifted to relief camps and safer locations in many places. Conditions remain favourable for southwest monsoon to further advance into some more parts of North Bay of Bengal and remaining parts of northeastern states. Heavy rains are also expected in parts of sub-Himalaya, West Bengal and Sikkim in the next 72 hours. Meanwhile, rains also lashed India's national capital, New Delhi, on Sunday, with the city experiencing its wettest May since 1901. Thunderstorm and heavy winds rattled windows and uprooted trees in many areas, besides disrupting airport facilities as well. In a few hours itself, the city recorded close to 81.4 millimeters of rain, the second highest 24-hour rainfall that Delhi has seen in the month of May. The war in Ukraine has now reached a new and dangerous height. Russia has unleashed its largest drone assault to date, while Ukraine is hitting back with bold attacks of its own. As the violence intensifies and escalates, both sides are trading blows as warnings from world leaders grow louder. Our next report telling you more.
The night sky over Ukraine pierced by the ominous buzz of drones and missiles as Russia initiated its largest aerial offensive since the invasion began. Russia launched a record-shattering drone barrage against Ukraine. In a single night, 355 Shahid-type drones and decoys rained down across the country, marking the most extensive drone strike since the war began. Ukrainian Air Force says Moscow's forces launched 9 Kh-101 cruise missiles from Tu-95 MS bomber planes. The relentless deadly assault targeted cities from Odessa to Kyiv, rocked by explosions and fires. Ukraine's air defenses were pushed to the brink, intercepting wave after wave of drones and cruise missiles. In Kharkiv, Russian forces intensified the pressure with a combination of glide bombs, drones and artillery, hitting multiple districts and leaving destruction in their wake. The renewed wave of attacks came after US President Donald Trump called Vladimir Putin absolutely crazy and warned Moscow of new sanctions if the attacks continued.
Yeah, I'll give you an update. I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kyiv and other cities. I don't like it at all.
The Kremlin brushed off Trump's remarks, calling them emotional overload. But tensions are clearly rising, not just on the battlefield, but on the world stage. Ukraine did not sit idle. Military intelligence released footage of a daring drone strike on a Russian military fuel train in occupied Zaporizhia, igniting a massive fireball. Kyiv is sending a clear message that it is willing to take the fight beyond its borders. Amid the chaos, Russia and Ukraine completed their largest prisoner swap yet, exchanging 1,000 captives each. Still, Moscow has rejected calls for a ceasefire, determined to keep pushing forward. As both sides escalate their attacks, the world is left watching a conflict that shows no sign of slowing down. Bureau Report, WION World is One.